Ole'Pops here. I'm smoking a leather-wrapped briar and meerschaum Tanzanian Kiko that was made the year that I was born, 1903. No, it was made in the mid-50s. And I was doing some research on some sites in Murfreesboro and surrounding Rutherford County, and there are places that you hear of that are surrounded with myths and legends and stories of spirits and haints, and of course you want to share them around this time of year, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to walk you through a couple of them. I'm going to start here at a place that you've been before, but it has to do with a legend that takes place 10 miles that way, northwest of us, in a little town called Smyrna. It's still in Rutherford County, but it's still part of still part of us, but it's not in this city. I'm gonna turn around and get out of the picture and point the camera in a different direction and tell you a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. Monkey Woman Bridge. The tale goes, it's about a hybrid creature, part monkey and part woman, who would terrorize anyone who frequented that particular bridge. It used to sit on Amival Road just as it passed over Stewart Creek in Smyrna, like I said, which is about 10 miles northwest of Murfreesboro. Turns out there was a cemetery out there, and the local teens used to use it for the evening lover's lane to steam up the windows of the Chevy. The monkey woman would jump up on the hood of the cars as they passed over the bridge, and as they crossed over, and cause severe accidents, crashes, and cars would end up in the creek. Legend has it the monkey woman could be warded off by pounding on the side of your car as you drove over the bridge, but who knows? In 1976, 1 Mile Lane replaced that part of Amival Road as the road which passed over Stewart Creek, and the infamous bridge was rerouted. Now, Jesse Messick, the curator of the city's annual Uncle Dave Macon Music Festival, was helping to build Canonsburg Village, and the town of Smyrna donated this old bridge to the Canonsburg Village project. Mr. Messick accepted it. He hired a construction company to raise the bridge. The construction workers discovered a long, decomposing
that'll do it for me.
Campsite just a few feet from where the bridge sat on Stewart's Creek, and just a few feet from the campsite they discovered the remains, decomposing remains of a woman. Little else is known about the Monkey Woman Bridge. In the years since, the road and the concrete bridge sits not far from the first bridge original location. The old location of the bridge is now a tract of private property, but the legend will likely never disappear. Who wants to venture across Monkey Woman Bridge? Thousands of people cross this bridge every day visiting Canonsburg. I don't know if anybody has ever reported any sights of the Monkey Woman since it sat here. Let's move on to our next stop. Behind me is the Rutherford County Health Department, the old Rutherford County Health Department. Until 1931, when it was opened, there was no public health facility in Rutherford County. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see it, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's listed in the National Register of Historic Places for its significance in the development of the health care and public medicine in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. Until it was opened in 1931, like I said, there was no place for health care in Rutherford County. Today it serves as the Rutherford County Court for drug offenders and drug abuse. But according to the Murfreesboro Post, some of the employees that work here believe that at least a few of the thousands of children who must have come through its doors in need of medical treatment still haunt this building today. Workers in these offices claim to feel the presence of spirits. You can hear the sounds of children laughing and playing in the hallways. Some claim to notice items being moved on their desks without explanation. One employee said that she and several others have noticed the left arm of a coworker's rag doll that sits on a shelf lift up and point towards an adjacent wall. On more than one occasion, actually. Another employee with small toys sitting around her computer said that she comes in early in the morning and finds those toys knocked over or scattered or rearranged. Members of the construction crew that was in charge of renovating the building several years ago said that they heard children's voices and saw shadowy figures walking the halls and heard heavy footsteps on the stairs. One said that the renovation had more than its share of unexplained problems. He had begun to wonder if the building's ghosts were responsible. Charles Gilmore, a member of the crew, doesn't know if he really believes in ghosts or spirits, but he had some encounters that he couldn't explain any other way. One day he was on a ladder on the second floor of the building when he heard a young girl shout, "No, Mama, no, no, Mama, no." Gilmore immediately went to the nearest window so he could see where the noise was coming from. No one was outside. "I didn't believe anything could manifest like that," he said. While alone in the building one evening, another member of the crew apparently saw shadowy figures walking through the building and heard heavy footsteps on the slate floors. Most of all, the spirits seemed to make the process of renovating the building much more difficult. "It was just a nightmare of a job," Gilmore said. "Nothing would work." He said it seemed like the building didn't want to have its face lifted. One thing after another would go wrong. "I call it the ghost in the machine," said Gilmore. "Nothing went right the whole time. If there was a list of 1,000 things to do, then only 3 of them would work out properly. Everything went wrong, from the materials not being delivered to the site, or having materials mixed improperly, or machinery failing to work." He said for the massive amount of hours, 2 new facilities could have been built with less headaches. Despite the problems, Gilmore said he never felt uncomfortable working in the building. But being there by himself, Gilmore would often work in the basement in the pitch dark. "I never felt uncomfortable being in the building," he said. "It is not a bad energy. Things are not being destroyed. It just didn't want to be bothered." But even now, as Gilmore has moved on to other projects, he is having dreams about the renovation. It has weighed on his mind like no other project. Well, that's a couple of spots in Murfreesboro. Tomorrow, Gracie and I are going back out to Dyer Cemetery. We have a special project that we're working on, and I'm going to share that with you. Be looking for Dyer Cemetery Part 2. There's an interesting story that goes along with it, and I'll be looking forward to sharing that with you, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm Ole'Pops.